So somebody said that Sneako pushed back against Fresh and Fit. Woo, interesting stuff. I gotta see what we got here. Let's see if we got some credit to give young man. Let's go.
We saw Rolo said something yesterday on Twitter saying that men should get vasectomies in their 20s just to prevent this, which I completely disagree with. I think that it's important to have family values and to prepare for eventual parenthood.
Okay.
But that's the cope.
You can reverse a vasectomy. I don't think that you should necessarily need one. Just use safe measures in general. But okay.
That a lot of men have. Like, why raise a family in this scenario? Why risk having a child with somebody who's wanting to build an empire or wanting to be as famous as Rihanna when you could just play it safe and do the snip snip? But I disagree with him completely. I want to know what you think about that. Rolo, like the Godfather Red Pill, who's pretty much created a lot of these ideologies, is saying avoid having a family. I think
that's silly. Yeah.
Complete cope. Like that's just that's when it becomes
oh wow, actually
a black
okay.
hole and really kind of black.
Wow, is this actually a little based? Yeah, I mean, I agree. What else can I say? I think it's toxic to decide that because it might end poorly, that you shouldn't engage in it. I feel like a marriage is two people, and if one of you taps out, then the marriage is over. And I know that women generally the ones that engage in a divorce 70% of the time, but that doesn't mean it's a woman's fault necessarily. The man might have checked out and she might be engaging in the divorce. Maybe it is her fault, Could be maybe the guy cheated. Guys tend to be more promiscuous, unfortunately, That's the real male struggle. Women will never understand. Right? So yeah, but we need families. And I mean, I think that you should be a father and a mother. And you don't have to if you don't want to. But I think there's a difference between you saying, hey, I don't want to have kids. I'm not going to have kids. I'm going to, personally. But there's a difference between you saying, hey, personally, I don't want to have kids versus you saying that nobody should have kids. Right? One is a personal choice. One is the pushing of an ideology. And it's founded on just being disrespectful. I think it's good to raise kids. And I think we need more fathers in their children's lives. And unfortunately, that's not happening to the degree that it needs to. So yeah, I mean, I agree with this guy.
I think given the marketplace that we're in, it's a reasonable strategy.
Avoid family.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a reasonable strategy. Not for nothing, but that would be a level of weakness, no? You shouldn't have kids because why? That's weak, right? Wouldn't you be, as a man, as a strong man, shouldn't you be able to overcome the hardships of scary women or whatever? But yeah, how would we repopulate? I mean, especially if you think that the world is so beta and that men need to control more things and that all these other guys are more beta, wouldn't you want the alpha men to be having kids? Right? I mean, your logic doesn't even really... What the heck? What is this game? Sorry.
Upsides are great, but the downsides will absolutely demolish you.
Like what?
Look at the Tridecons right now that's going through. I mean, look at Steven Crowder right now, bro. So it's
Yeah, look at Crowder. He was yelling at his wife and being really rude to her when she was pregnant. What a bad guy. I'm sure it's more than just that. I know we haven't seen everything, but I mean, look, just to say look at Steven Crowder in a way that's wholly empathetic to him is so bizarre. You could say I just wouldn't bring it up. It looks like based on that footage and based on his ex-coworkers and interns that he's not a great guy to work with. He seems like a real bad guy. But to say look at this guy, he's the victim. That's what they're saying there. It's just stupid. It's just so dumb. Oh my god.
And I think that's why so many guys are going abroad, because at least there, the women value family more than here. I mean, a lot of the girls here said, I want a family, but if you notice, the things that they're working on isn't necessarily to be a better mom. So I think one or two of you guys mentioned that, but not many.
Well, what would make them a better mom? I'm a little confused, because they want to make money themselves. Isn't that a good parent that provides for their kids? Why is that a bad thing? I mean, if anything, I think that we should teach health classes about having babies and about how to teach your kid for boys and girls. Did you know that there's a thing called tummy time that you're supposed to do when your kid's young? You're supposed to put them on their belly for a little while every day so they can develop their neck muscles. I never knew that. Could you imagine never learning that? That you could hurt your baby. Apparently give him a flat head. I mean, I just feel like that's what you need to do to prepare to be a good parent. Is we need to have health classes that actually deal with this stuff.
Most of you guys were prioritizing your career and
who cares?
Your own self-improvement, which is great. That's fantastic.
But you clearly don't think it is.
But that's more of a masculine thing. You got to ask yourself, is the guy that you want, is he going to want that back in return? Is he going to want another him? I mean, would you guys, what if I lined up a bunch of dudes here and I said, what are y'all going to do to get the wife of your dreams? And they all said, oh, well, I'm getting manicures. I'm buying really nice designer. I'm getting dressed up really well. I'm doing my eyebrows. I'm getting haircuts every week. Would y'all take those guys seriously?
No, I wouldn't take those girls seriously either. If a girl, if you asked the question, what are you doing to get a good guy, and the girl was like, I'm getting a bunch of designer, blah blah blah, I think that you're a loser too. Not all men want that. Obviously, you want a girl that looks nice. My wife looks very nice. I find her very attractive, and I have sex with her. But I really enjoy the fact that my wife is a woman that works. She's very well respected at her job, and she takes care of me in the home. And I reciprocate. I don't think all men are just looking for pretty nails and boobs and hair. I don't. I mean, it's nice, but it just complements a greater thing. Like my wife does her hair and nails sometimes and stuff. How silly.
No,
Probably not, right? Because the things they're working on only benefit them, not
Yeah,
necessarily
but
you.
this is the problem with you bringing on like very vapid women that say that, oh, I think I'm gonna get a good guy by just basically showing my pussy to everybody. It's like, okay, well that's not. I don't respect that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of how you got to look at it from the male perspective. Like, it's great that you guys are working on your money and everything, but it doesn't really benefit us as men.
I think we should ask.
I mean, it does. If you find a queen that'll take care of you. My wife buys me stuff. You know, I don't really like having stuff bought for me, but she does buy me things. You know. She takes care of me. She makes me feel nice. I don't know. Like these conversations get so deep, but like realistically speaking, what are you talking about? Money is cool. Having another person to make money can be very helpful, especially in this economy, especially with these gas prices. You know.
This as well.
Yeah.
How many of you want kids with men? In terms of, like, for example, having a father in the household too as well.
What?
I think everyone.
Everybody?
Yeah,
Everybody?
everyone.
Okay,
Why wouldn't
Okay,
they
and you don't
want
like a
that?
surrogate or anything like that?
No.
Why would they want
But
to?
no, I think Rollo's assessment is spot on for the West, but I
don't
think that's why
think
so many
so.
guys are going abroad, because women have more.
I don't think there's that many guys going abroad. I think that you're making something up because your friends go abroad because they don't like dealing with women that have their own power, I guess. You just want a woman who will be completely submissive and not say no to you, which is really weird. Again, my wife listens to me, but she's not submissive. She says when she doesn't like a thing. It's really weird if you just want a woman who won't say no to you. It's very bizarre. But there aren't that many people traveling from the West somewhere else. You do you. You can leave. You're valueless if you have these perspectives. But what are you talking about?
Traditional values. I mean,
Okay.
hell, some of the girls here are foreign, but they still have fairly Western values, right? If we went to Romania or something like that, when we were there, like girls aren't going to say, "Oh yeah, my career and making money." They're like, "Fuck that shit, I want to be home."
But the obsession,
Okay.
well, like the reason you said that is like how to become a high value man. The obsession with becoming high status and having other people admire you instead of reach your peak happiness, which is having a family. That's where it becomes
Wow.
like, why?
What the
makes you
fuck?
value other people's perception, having a lot of money, having.
Dude, what's happening here, bro? I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone right now. This is actually the most agreeable takes I've ever had. I 1000% agree with Sneako. What the fuck? Yes, he's talking about happiness. This is incredible. Love, get there too. Love is a beautiful thing too. It's so undervalued. Men need love. It's so incredible. It's the best I've ever felt is when I felt loved by my wife. I don't care how gay that sounds. It's fucking incredible. You need this thing in your life. Look for it, but don't harp on it too much. Don't sacrifice your values to try to force love. But like, holy shit, these are fucking base as hell. What's going on here? Wild. He's never saying this. What changed? Did he finally grow up a little bit?
A network. Like, why does that matter? Why does being a high value man matter if you're not going to eventually start a family?
True.
Because look at all the girls here; they're all propping themselves up to be that high value man.
What?
That's why.
Just to
Well,
clear.
and we're calling that bleak, and we're calling that out and saying it's empty. So why are we advocating for the same thing on the
Yeah.
other side?
It's
Of
not going to change, bro. Feminism is here, and it's not going anywhere. Like,
Who
women will not
cares?
concede whatsoever. Like, they're going to continue to make money. They're going to continue
So?
to gain status. They're going to continue to, go up the ranks. Women are going to.
Bro, what a pussy. Women are gonna make money and they're gonna have status and they're gonna have community respect, and I can't be with a woman who outclasses me. Like, what's wrong with you? Bro, this is the most insecure, childish fucking bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Holy fuck. Sneako's based right now, though.
Or men in the next 20 years. I predict it. They're dominating men when it
Right,
comes to
but-
college
but-
graduates.
What?
Continue to, go up the ranks. Women are going to out-earn men in the next 20 years. I predict it.
Maybe. Why? I honestly doubt it. I really don't care. I doubt it, especially since men still choose jobs that pay more. How are women going to out-earn men?
They're dominating men when it
Right,
comes to
but
college
being
graduation.
bleak about it
It's not
is kind of a waste.
If they're dominating men, this is the fucking wild thing. This is really pathetic because their perspective is men are dominating, or women are dominating men. And if you think women are dominating men right now because women have equal rights, then what you're effectively saying is that you're afraid that you're saying that women are better than men, and you're afraid of that. So you want to go somewhere where women don't have rights because you could beat them into submission. Like, that's the only argument that you can make. You're a coward. You're afraid of a woman outclassing you. You're a child. Holy shit.
because we've seen some, like, I think your answer is exactly what I saw girls in Eastern Europe doing, trying to get closer to God, working on their health, working on
Those are good things.
making sure they're emotionally mature. That's what Eastern European women are doing. So it's not like you can't just put a blanket over all the women here and say, give up and cut off your fucking balls from your dick. So that
no, I get that. I'm all for families, man. I've always
You're
said
clearly not.
family is the backbone of any thriving society. However,
but you're not, because you're saying you shouldn't do that.
When half the equation of having a nuclear family doesn't necessarily prioritize a nuclear family, as a man, you got to make some adaptations, because if you do make a nuclear family,
the adaptations are you have to come to the table with more than just I make money. You have to love your kids and do more than just make money. You know, that's all it comes down to. So, okay.
Someone that isn't as interested in making a nuclear family with you, and they're, how do I say this? They're rewarded for leaving that nuclear family through divorce courts, alimony, etc. As a guy, you got to kind of reassess how you want to move. So I'm saying families are fantastic, but it's a very dangerous proposition in the West, the United States. That's my thing. But I'm all for families. I am. Do
I think that Sneako has hit a huge turning point after his beef with Moist Critical? I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive about it. Whether he's like being honest or if it's an angle or something, you know. But I mean, either way, I guess right now it's a good thing. We'll see if it sticks or if he'll just like flip over and like kind of be weak about it. But this is still cool.
Yeah, trust me. Come from a two-parent household, I would probably be a fucked up idiot if I didn't come from a two-parent household. But my parents were in the Middle East.
You already are.
So values, you know, religion is a thing. Here, religion isn't that big. Feminism is here. Women prioritize careers, just seen through. And all these girls are young too. That's the crazy part. They're all young.
Panel.
You know what I mean? So
what's your take on this? I want to hear Fresh and Fit's take on this. There's 15,000 men watching for the most part. Should men in their 20s get a vasectomy?
Personally, I would say, looking at it from a holistic standpoint, I get what Rolo's saying for the whole topic itself of being high value, because once again, if you get a woman pregnant that's not there for you, she could be against you and it could turn to many different things. But personally,
yeah, sure. So wear a condom or don't engage in constant casual sex. I don't like, you could do those as well. I mean, if you're Islamic, isn't that part of that? No, right?
Like I was saying earlier, for me, I do want a family. If I meet the right woman, I think is going to raise that child.
Okay.
But for most men, do they have the, I want to say, resources to find a woman that they want of their dreams, or even get the right woman? Probably not. So to be safe, vasectomy might be in their best interest.
So yes.
You think that most men can't find the woman of their like? What does of their dreams mean to you? Like a fantasy woman that's far exceeds what you're able to get, or something? Like, is that what you mean? Like you want to fuck Pamela Anderson or something? So since you can't get her, you're going to get a vasectomy? I'm not understanding. This whole argument is so silly. It's so disconnected.
No, I'm saying, okay, so
it's a yes or no.
It depends on the individual. That's what I'm saying. So it's up to the man to decide for himself. But I'm just saying, for me,
what's your opinion?
I think family is very important. But I understand why most men might not want that, because finding a woman that's actually good for you may be kind of hard. So I get
a little bit.
In America specifically.
In America, yeah.
In America, to be specific.
What do you think?
Let's get the ladies' takes on it, and then I'll give my opinion.
Why are they so afraid to give an answer to this question? I'm not understanding it. This is like childish as fuck.
I want to corrupt them with my take. Okay. All right, ladies. Let's make this a little bit more engaging. Let's say you have a son. 21 years old.
Bro, it's actually sad how much they're dodging the question in any. I mean, at least Fresh gave a perspective, but Fit is just refusing to answer the question. I don't want to answer. I don't want to poison the girl's mind. What do you think, that they're just gonna like harp on your every whim? I don't understand.
Building up a business, whatever it may be, is becoming somewhat successful. Actually, you know what? Let's say 30 years old, because let's be honest, 21-year-old guy's fucking useless. He ain't doing nothing with life. So 30-year-old guy, building up a business, he's on his way to becoming successful.
Cool.
Should he have a vasectomy, knowing how women move nowadays and how girls can trap guys? Should he have?
No, why would he do that? Like, he's 30 years old. Hopefully he can pick. I mean, by 30, you should be emotionally intelligent enough to know what you want in a relationship and what you're willing to concede in a relationship, because, of course, it's all about boundaries and, you know, what is the word? Compromising. So, yeah. Why would you get a vasectomy at 30? Why would you even do that? It seems silly to me.
A vasectomy, we can start on the couch and then work our way. What are your thoughts to protect himself?
If he's really successful, I mean, I've seen men get trapped, so I'd probably be more prone to saying yes.
I mean, if he's really successful, why not just sign a prenup? That's not a bad idea. If you, like, for the most part in a relationship, you're going to start with somebody and neither of you are going to be very successful, so there's no reason to make a prenup because you're building each other up in your relationship. But if you're already really successful, like, sign a prenup. That's a good idea before you get married, and say like, oh yeah, I don't want you farting in my mouth if it doesn't work out. I get that. That's perfectly reasonable. Why do you need a vasectomy though? Like, just that, like, the idea is that, like, you don't want to get trapped, so then like get with a woman and be like, if we want to be together, we have to get a prenup because I'm successful. And if they say no, then there you go. You got rid of your red flag. Oh, we did it and we figured it out. Like, holy shit.
If he was, you know, like a target, but on the whole, I think no.
Okay.
No, I would tell my son completely no.
Okay.
To not do that.
Fair.
Honestly, if they don't want to have
children, then yeah.
I think the biggest problem is that Fresh and Fit gets so many donations from all these poor men that need the money for their life, but instead they give it to their fucking, like, they give it to them like they're their religious idols or something. Oh, Fresh, here's $100. I don't know why I'm doing so poorly in life. Why don't I have any money? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because you're giving them your money. Like, maybe you should prioritize yourself, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, but I think that every man should be able to like decide if they want to have a children or not.
All right.
And it's like important.
Okay.
So
These
I don't think
questions
so.
are so
honestly.
weird. These answers
like
are
you can
bizarre.
just find women that follow your values in another part of the world, as you said. Like,
All right. So you're saying
Okay.
you just go somewhere else.
yeah, just like go
Okay.
What
somewhere.
if they decide to stay in the States?
Then they can find
Honestly,
somebody in the
still think
States.
that there's women out there that can
There's
be
plenty
like
of.
mother.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
material.
Honestly, if he wants to, then that's fine with me. But can't you get a vasectomy undone?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. Like
You
if
can also
do it, yeah.
detransition after becoming trans.
I mean,
Like, but you don't
yeah.
ever
Okay.
want people to do that in the first place. Like you're messing up your body. Once you take puberty blockers,
Real.
you can go off them, but
I don't. I think a reversal of a vasectomy is much easier and less harmful than it'd be. Okay, well, whatever. I don't even
there's
care.
going to be a physical difference.
Exactly. I mean,
I
if he wants to
suppose.
take that risk, I don't really,
Is
I don't
there?
really care because I know that they be getting like some girls be lying, doing other shit, and like he's trapped now, and then they take all his shit and then leave.
Mm.
So I'm not opposed to it at all.
Yep,
Actually,
and there's some guys who I guess do similar things. I mean, like, okay. A lump in the scrotum called the granuloma. This is formed from sperm that leak out. What the fuck? That's so weird. I don't know, man. It seems like a lot. Is this a good idea? Is it a good thing? It doesn't affect the release of testosterone. Okay. Apparently it doesn't have a negative impact on your sexual function. There are rare occasions that you have pain and discomfort and abscesses, which is yucky. Like 1 to 3% of them get inflammation. Gross. Sperm granulomas. I guess it's buildup of the sperm. It seems like I just wouldn't do it. Just fucking come in a cup or something, you know? Like put a fucking condom on, bro. Why would you get a vasectomy?
All right. What about you?
I would say no, but I mean,
Okay.
it's their choice.
All right.
Like, I would hope that I raise them like a good, like they have a good sense of moral and they'd be able to pick the right
Okay.
woman.
Okay. What about you?
Good. Yeah.
I think it depends on a lot of like what his lifestyle is. Like, if he's, let's say, starting his business and he's very focused on money and things like that, but he's like constantly meeting new women and engaging with these women.
Yeah.
Then I would say, okay, there's like ways that you can use instead of a vasectomy to avoid
this
the
thing.
baby, but I have also heard of like women trapping men and things like that. But
Okay.
I feel like it's up to him.
It doesn't happen that much. It doesn't happen that much that women are trapping men. I'm sure it happens, but it's not like the number one worry of a woman. I would say that like a woman trying to trap men would not be the primary reason for some kind of a divorce. I think I'm sure it happens, especially in Miami where all the women there are whores and all the men there are unintelligent guys with money. But that's not happening in the rest of the world.
Him, like if he thinks like, no, I'm gonna get trapped. Like I'm getting like I'm.
If you think so hard that you're gonna get trapped, then that sounds like you have like some kind of a mental disorder, like you are like a paranoia or something.
And I'm doing this, and I'm like, having intimate moments with them, and you know what, do what you want to do, what makes you happy, and
Yeah.
So yes or no?
I feel like it's just up to him. Like if he wants,
What advice would you give him though?
I would say,
As the mom.
as the mom of my son, I would say like, don't go around, sticking it in whatever and whoever. Like, why don't you?
Sure.
If you're so focused on starting a family or you want to grow, why are you, giving time and energy into things that are just gonna be gone in the next morning?
Based.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take
Very
that as
based.
a no. What about you?
Oh no, I
my
think
God.
there's still a lot of women with values and that can like be a good mothers and stuff like that here in Florida.
Okay.
Sure. Maybe not in
In
Florida,
Florida?
Well, you say Florida. Like, because she's-
Well, I mean in the United States.
oh, well,
but
yeah.
maybe not in
What about you?
Miami, rather.
I wouldn't want him to. I would just tell him to work on his discernment as far as who he's having sex with.
Mhm.
But if he made the decision to have sex with somebody unprotected or whatever happens, then he has to live with those consequences.
All right.
Sure.
What about
Yeah.
you?
I personally would tell him I wouldn't want him to do it, but like you can't really control what happens. Things happen, and yeah, that's what they have to live with, and they have to deal with that and provide for that child. And you always just have to be careful.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, at his big age, I feel like he should know the consequences of doing something like that or not. I would definitely advise him against it because, like you were saying, you know, puberty blockers and all that. Like once you do something to your body, it's very hard. I mean, impossible to reverse anything that you've done. So, I mean, hopefully I would have raised him to where he would make that decision and, you know, it'd be sound on his part. But I would advise him against it.
Good advice. Okay.
How old did you say yourself?
God,
we'll say 30.
Doing the whole fucking roulette with.
30?
Yep.
He's a grown man. I'm not gonna be telling him what to do with his balls or anything. Like, you need to wrap it before you tap it. Even if you do have a vasectomy, what if you get an STD or something?
True. True.
All right. My take on it, man, I think it's a sliding scale. The more successful the guy, the more money he has, the more he has to lose. The more vasectomy might be a good choice. But
no,
again, it depends on the guy. If the guy's not smashing at all,
just find just get a prenup. If you're a rich, successful guy and you're dating women that don't have that level of success and you're just dating arm candy, then get a prenup. That should be enough for a woman to say, "Oh, I'm not going to be in this relationship anymore." Right? If they say no, I won't do that, then you say, okay, bye. That's good advice. If you're a really rich person, even if you're a woman, I would say the same thing. You know, if you're a woman with a lot of money, I'd say the same thing. But if you're a guy with a lot of money and you're worried that women are just trying to be with you out of like some kind of like a very shallow aspect, tell them that they need to sign a prenup. And if they say no, then just leave them, because obviously they only care about being able to divorce you in some capacity for your money. That should be enough to scare them. There you go. There's the answer.
You want to do that, and obviously you can always undo the snip. So it really depends on the individual, and I think the two main variables are his success and how promiscuous he is with dealing with women. I think those two factors heavily influence the decision. It's going to change per person.
Right, but his take, Rolo's take was that to be a high value man, the top 3 steps: avoid.
What does it say? Super was very loyal. Papa got a viewer. Papa give him advice. What advice does he want? Just restate it in the chat.
Family creation, get a vasectomy, and have a network. It's just like the generic male self-improvement stuff. But
no, what the fuck? Oh, I missed something.
Rolo's take was that to be a high value man, the
okay,
top 3 steps: avoid family creation, get a vasectomy, and have a network. It's just like the generic male self-improvement stuff. But like 2 of the top 3: get a vasectomy and avoid family creation. Do you agree?
Did he say avoid? I don't think he said avoid.
Word for word. Avoid family creation.
It's on Twitter.
Top 3 steps to become a high value man.
Okay, I didn't see this tweet. I'll have to take a look at it. But I mean, here's the thing. I think what he means by that is being the most. When he says high value man, he's talking from the perspective of being able to be a playboy and get as many girls.
But why is that a priority over having a family? Like, why would that even be advice? why would that be a male self-improvement advice?
Yeah.
Be a playboy instead of raise a family? Well, we make fun of women all day for wanting to be girl boss.
Is this called the purple pill? Is that what this is? Isn't that what this is?
Queens to sleep around and have all this, and then you tell guys, be a playboy instead of raise a family. That's the same advice on the other side.
Because here's the thing: when you're a playboy, you're going to be better at raising the family. And the reason for that,
no, you're not. You're going to be much worse at raising a family if you're a playboy. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even track. It doesn't track at all. If you're going around constantly fucking with women and you're making yourself emotionally available to some capacity to all these different women, then how are you going to be good at raising a family and dedicating yourself to one woman and your kids? It's hard. I used to fuck around. I get it. I'm fat. Fat women exist. Cope. But like the best I've ever been at being a husband is when I've like taken a step back and I've worked on myself and I've gotten my shit together and I've gotten my impulses under control. So, so no, you're wrong. Fucking a bunch of women isn't gonna. Why this is like quest is bugged. I'm actually gonna fucking blow my brains out.
Avoid family creation.
Well, he's saying to be a high value. He's talking from the frame, knowing Rolo because I know him personally.
Soup needs advice on Riz. I'll do it after this segment.
He's talking from the frame of being a guy getting a lot of girls. And then if you decide you want to get a family down the road, you can always unsnip and then go ahead and go down the family route. But in today's day and age, I agree to a degree that you need to have sex with at least 50 girls as a guy. I talk about that all the time. It's controversial. But the reason why I say that is because
it's not controversial. It's stupid. You're an idiot.
Most women are more promiscuous than most guys. So if you're a dude and you're getting
what are you talking about? That's dude. When did this? Fucking like a new sexism drop, bro. I would say most men are more promiscuous than most women. Like what? Men usually have like that urge. That's why men are cheating at much higher rates than women. At least physically cheating. What are you talking about? What's happening?
Out here dating girls and you get your pee-pee wet with the first girl. She could sell you a dream and you're like, oh yeah, this
is
great.
This is like
so
literally
get out there and be sexually experienced. So
pissed.
he's talking from the frame of being attractive.
I think most guys out here are not going to be able to control their sexual urges. So he's saying as a
oh, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Oh, if that's what he's saying, if he thinks most guys can't control their sexual urges, doesn't that look bad for men? That means that men are like losers. Oh, most men, that makes you weak. No? How does that not make you weak? You can't control your urges. What did I say that you hate, baby? Oh
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The quickest path to becoming a high value man: do not get married, avoid family creation, vasectomy in your 20s, live consistently, eliminate all sedations, learn game and networking, play to your strengths, build wealth, resist easing up on your focus. He's talking about building, increasing your value when you're young.
Becoming successful, yeah.
Becoming successful. Yeah.
Avoid family creation
So-
again.
Yeah, because
I mean, I would say that a partner, whether you're a man or a woman, would be a good partner is necessary for success. Somebody that builds you up in some capacity. So like this idea that like you only become a high value male if you blah blah blah. Like no, I think having the motivation and the support of a good woman as a man, fuck you gay people. No, I'm just kidding. But has been profoundly positive for me. It's been nothing but positive since I met my wife. You know, and I'm a flawed guy. You know, I take a lot of effort to get to a place that most other people get without that much effort. I got to touch a hot stove a few times to know that it's bad to touch that stove. But yeah, I think that a good partner is a good thing. You don't want to force that partner. You know what I mean? You don't want to force the that interaction. Of course, you want to make sure you find something that's actually compatible with you. But
when you, yeah, dude, because your value doesn't go up until you're built something, and that's typically going to be in your 30s.
So
Okay.
most guys,
That's what he's saying.
what do they focus on? Girls the whole time. He's saying at this point you're
oh, the only reason that you were able to sleep around with because of fat women? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not being rude. You're not understanding what I'm saying. So when I tell people that I used to fuck around a lot and sleep with a lot of different women, the first response is from dumb little boys that have never had sex before. It's like, oh my God, you're fat. It's like, yeah, I'm fat. I'm also 6'4". I also have I have a very soothing voice. Like I also make decent money. Like there's things other than being fat, and fat women exist, right? Like it's not hard to fuck around. Well, not for me at least, to fuck around a lot. My point isn't like that. LOL, it's only fat girls. My point is that like it's a quick way to dispel those annoying people that are like, you could never have sex. You're fat, and I'm a fucking these dumb little like skinny kids that don't shower. Like I'm skinny and I can't get pussy, so the fat guy can't either. Yeah, because you're a loser. You're all a bunch of fucking dumb losers. I'm not a loser, so I don't know what to tell you. So it's just a really easy way to interact with that without going into the specifics of it.
in your career when you're on the way up. Focus on things that are going to help you move forward in life and become successful.
And get a
so that when you
surgery
find-
done that prevents you from having children.
Yeah, but you can always reverse it. He's
That's
saying,
not like a lot of the times that shit messes up. That's not something you could just like
But
hope that it's going to be okay.
generally, most men can't control their urges, so what's
Yeah.
going to happen is going to go fuck around and get somebody pregnant.
That's pathetic. If you're a man that can't control your urges, you're a loser. I don't know what to tell you. You can make the same criticism about me being fat. I don't care. That's perfectly fine. But if you can't control your urges, you're a loser. You need to get your shit together. If you can't control those sexual urges, you're not a real man. Like, get your shit together, control them. It's not easy. I understand that, but like it's necessary and it's a positive thing, and you're gonna like yourself more for doing it. All right, just find a wife that you want to constantly have sex with. It makes it a lot easier. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I just think that that's such a weak thing. That's a weak. I mean, that's just so like you're treating men like babies. If you're just like, men can't control themselves, like why? Like that's childish. It's pathetic. I mean, it makes sense because they keep saying they'll tell women that were raped that they should have just chose better men. So by their logic, men just have to rape because they're just rapists. All men are rapists by Fresh and Fit's perspective here. Men can't control their urges. Pick better men if you don't want to get raped. Oh, look at me. You're a bunch of dumb fucking rape apologists. But so.
This is how you rise up the path to become high status because you're eliminating all variables that can fuck you up.
Yeah, it's about
That's what he's saying.
Risk mitigation right there.
How many dudes do you know that could have made it to the NBA or could have been a star and an athlete or something that got some chick pregnant?
Probably not a lot because it's really difficult to get to the NBA. No, what? No, not very many. That's the answer. What are you talking about? How would getting a girl pregnant prevent you from being able to train for the NBA? I'm not understanding. That doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah. Like kids a lot of the times ruin dudes' futures because they have kids prematurely. So he's saying this is the path to becoming a
maybe. I mean, possibly. I don't know if I would say it ruins their future. I mean, that's just if you think it ruins their futures, stop telling them that they can't control themselves. Because when you hear somebody say you can't control yourselves, you couldn't do any better, right? Then what you're doing is you're excusing their bad behavior. You're treating them like a child. Like a dumb little fucking baby, and they're going to be weak because of you. So you're making a bunch of weak men because now men are going to listen to them and go, oh, see, I can't do anything about it. It's the same thing as all those annoying people on the internet that say, because I have ADHD, I can't do this. Yes, you can, idiot. Stop being a fucking pussy. I have ADHD. You can work through it. Don't leave excuses for people to take. You're treating men like fucking children. Okay.
high value man. And then
Is
once you
getting
become that guy,
reverse the vasectomy.
Reverse the vasectomy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's good advice?
It's terrible
that's good
advice.
advice if your qualifications of a high value man is a guy with a big body count. But it might be like I thought.
No. He's talking about increasing your value as a man. Avoid like you're basically what he's doing is he's retard proofing it.
Yeah.
If you have vasectomy and you bust nuts at girls, you're not gonna have a kid, so you're not gonna fuck up your future when you're young and you're not in a position to raise that child. That's what he's saying.
We all know what is men's biggest weakness: women. And as
Oh, that's pathetic. You're a loser. Men's biggest weakness is women. Bro, these guys are like self-reporting so hard. Like such a small amount of pushback from Sneako is destroying everything that they're saying right now. Oh, men's biggest weakness is like, listen to what has Myron said this entire time. In this interview, they've talked about how women are going to be more powerful than men 20 years from now. They're going to out-earn men. And about how like men are too weak to women, and men's entire lives are just centralized around how scary women are. They're like afraid of women. They're afraid of women becoming too powerful. It's bizarre. It's childish, and it's fucking pathetic.
the result, what happens is, what's another factor for not having success? Having a kid too early. That's reality.
That's the number one wealth killer, dude.
Yeah,
Kids. If
having
you really
kids.
look at it.
I mean, I don't think that there's any statistics that says the number one wealth killer is having kids early. But yeah, you should try to make sure you're ready for kids before you have them.
I guess the
It's
number
what
one
it
wealth
is.
killer. Again,
Now, once again, we support families.
Yeah, we do.
But at the same time,
No, you
what
don't.
he's saying to become successful
You
at a young
can't say
age,
that you support families and also tell your audience to get a vasectomy.
we didn't say that. We just said we're
You're toning the rest.
we're explaining why he said that. Do you agree? I understand why he said it.
Damn.
You see how you're ducking? You see how you're ducking the
No,
It's a simple
but
question.
it's on me. It's not about me. It's about the generational.
I'm asking
Wow.
No. Sneako, you're funny.
It's just a question.
No.
Bro, he's destroying these guys. Jesus Christ. Could you imagine if this whole thing was just like Sneako playing dumb just to infiltrate Fresh and Fit and like just completely to like dissect them and destroy them from the inside out? How fucking wild would that be?
Oh,
Bro, we make the girls on the panel answer questions specifically all the time. It's just,
Hold
do you
on.
agree? Yes or no?
personally, my decision has nothing to do with
ducking,
this
man.
discussion. I'm just saying for you,
Wow.
Politician answer.
I understand what he's saying.
Wow.
Your thing is
Wow,
about how to
dude.
become a high value guy.
Follow-up question for the
Eliminating
girls.
fuck up bullshit. Like
Wow. Incredible. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I, of course, am a little apprehensive about Sneako's transition from a boy to a man because he's starting to get there based on the way that he's acted historically, which seems to just overly identify with like one person that he enjoys. But this is pretty good. It's pretty funny to watch him press Fresh and Fit and make them look really stupid by just literally saying very commonsensical things. He gave pretty strong pushback. Personally, I don't think that there's a single thing Sneako could have said that would have made it better. You know what I mean? I think that I can't think of a single thing that I would have said, oh, you could have pushed him on this or that more. So I guess God bless, or Allah bless, dude.